You can own Highway 395 today by going to my brand new website, freddryer.co. That's freddryer.co. Get my new movie, Highway 395, and check out my new website, freddryer.co.
Welcome to the Powers of Love, a raw and real conversation about the most powerful force in the universe and how to liberate this power within to have a happy, healthy, and prosperous life. Now here's your hosts, Jason Michael and Heather Powers.
Welcome, welcome. We are so glad to have you here today on this beautiful Sunday in October. And we are so excited because we have a very special guest who is a dear, dear soul family member of ours who has been such a profound influence in our life. And so we're grateful to introduce Dr. James Mellon. We're going to tell you a little bit about him in just a minute, but just want to remind you of our intention for each show and our mission. And that is to help awaken more love on the planet by helping people really connect to and embody the love presence that we all are at our core. We know that relationships are the foundation of all life, and most importantly, the one that we have with ourselves. So with that said, babe, you want to take over?
Hello, everybody. Almost end of October. It seems like this year is going by so fast, but hello and welcome. I want to tell a little bit about our dear friend, mentor, teacher, path partner on this journey of awakening to our divine presence, James Mellon. Who is this gentleman? He received his doctorate of consciousness studies from the Emerson Theological Institute in Northern California and is an ordained minister of Centers for Spiritual Living, a teaching that sees the good God in everyone and honors all walk of life that support and foster love. He lives in Los Angeles, where he is the founding pastor of the Global Truth Center, a non-denominational center whose vision statement is to love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. Dr. James' focus for the past 20 years has been to explore the intersection between spirituality and the arts. Enlightenment through entertainment is his mission statement. And Dr. James's vision and ministry is constantly expanding and exploring new ways to teach principle through music, dance, art, and drama. It's no surprise that prior to becoming a minister, Dr. James had a successful career in the entertainment industry, which included Broadway, television, music, and film. He played Riff in the Jerome Robbins revival of West Side Story and toured the country as Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar before turning his attention to directing and writing. He has written for television and film and has had 3 original musicals published, for which he has written the book Music and Lyrics. His first book, Mental Muscle, 16 Weeks of Spiritual Boot Camp, has gone through 3 printings and is being used by many centers for workshops around the world. Dr. James' Prosperity Program, which is why we're here with him today, is called Core Prosperity Relief, CPR, has attracted thousands of participants for each of the past 16 30-day workshops and will be soon published as a workbook. Yeah. And so we say good afternoon, James.
So
long time no see.
Phew, hearing all of that, I'm exhausted.
You are
Plus
definitely...
the full weekend we've had together.
And the full weekend we've had, the 3 of us together, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited to be here. You two have such incredible passion, and more than passion, you have insight that's out of the box. You know, you take all of what we teach in the world, what most of us in this business teach, and you are seeking out new ways to explore love, new ways to explore life and light, and I just love watching what the two of you are doing.
Thank you.
You are an inspiration.
Truly. We, when we were talking about having you on, it's such perfect timing because there are many of us, as we're on this waking journey, really moving from, being in a system where we just have a job to discovering what it is our gifts are and how we use them and how to really anchor in a sustained life in order to be what we're supposed to be here. And so I think I just want to get going with the questions, really. I think the first question that we wanted to just touch into was, how would you define true prosperity?
Well, it's interesting what you just said about having a job. I think most people think prosperity is money. It's wealth. It is, how do I make a living? How do I have the money in life to do what I want to do? Right. And so when I think of prosperity, I think of freedom. To me, prosperity is actually being detached from everything I just said and understanding that I am prosperity. It's an energy. It's a consciousness. It's the way we think about money. It's the way we think about our jobs. And what you just said before that, I teach people and I try to get people to understand that you don't take a job for the money. You actually tap into what you're passionate about, do that, and the money comes. And, that's a hard thing for some people to get because we were brought up with other core beliefs like we have to work hard for the money. Well, that's a song from Flashdance, right?
I see a dance happening.
I have to work hard for the money. Right. And so, but people believe that.
Yeah,
that's where the song
totally.
came from.
Yeah.
We have to work hard for our money. And I'm only going to make money in my job.
Right.
And my job can't be something that I love doing. Sometimes it's something I don't love to do. And I do what I love on the weekends. And we're really trying to break that paradigm,
Right.
get rid of that paradigm so that you're doing what you love all the time. And this is the big part, and, Jason, being paid for it at the highest level possible.
Yes.
I say yes, yes, yes.
That's what
to
we're
my
working on.
core.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's interesting because you said something there that I want to extract. It says, I am prosperity. And James and Heather and I, we've been journeying together. We're part of the spiritual community at Global Truth Center. I'm just reminded of our vision statement. The affirmation of this month is trust that I am enough. Trust the power that I am. Trust the powers that we are. The powers of love. But that is a journey to say, I am prosperity. Many of us can look at our bills and go, no, I am not prosperity. I'm struggling to make my bills. I'm struggling. And personally, I have done so much work in my journey of going, okay, coming from, a low middle class family where finances were hard to come by, and this relationship with this thing called money and prosperity and feeling good enough. Speak to that. How does somebody break through those chains?
Well, you just said it. So your whole life, your childhood, whatever happened in your with your parents or whatever your relationship to money is, it comes from whatever core beliefs you have pulled together about money. So people don't realize it, that their core beliefs, or I like to call it your already established premise, your AEP. You have a premise of life based on money, what money does, how it shows up, how it doesn't show up. And that energy, that atmosphere of your mind of how you deal with money basically is how money deals with you. I use this. I always say, how you think about money is how money thinks about you. Because money, financial prosperity, security is an energy as well. So how do you break through? First, you wake up and you become conscious. And you actually look at, like you just said, how can I say I am prosperity and look at my bills and say, oh my God, how can I say I'm prosperity? It seems like I'm lying to myself, or I'm trying to deny the truth. Well, actually, those are the relative facts, and I can look at my checkbook and I can look at how much money I have and I can understand all of it. But unless I'm willing to know what's behind it, I kind of have it ruling me. Do you ever feel that? Do you ever feel like your bills are running you?
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is making me feel really bad.
Well, it's interesting because we're in a capitalism society where we have set up a system where money is a determiner for everyone for the most part, and so we grow up that way. And even if we are, even in the spiritual community where, I grew up in a pastor's home where the paycheck came from the entity that was a spiritual organization. So it's from the government or a corporation. And I love what you share is that God is the source and substance of our supply, not the money.
Right.
That the money comes when we recognize that we're already that flow of infinite abundance.
And when you use the word God,
Please.
we immediately cause
Ding, ding, ding,
Causes
ding, ding.
weird things
yes,
inside.
everybody goes to their corners,
Right.
to figure out what they believe about God. And just for your listeners and for everyone to know, my concept of God is that it is an infinite energy, a loving energy, a presence, a creative life force. So when I say God, as you say, God is the source and substance of my supply. So there's something in me as me, and Jesus actually said it, I and the Father are one.
Yes,
you know?
union.
Yes. So, and I believe that. I believe I and the Father are one. I believe, as Rumi says, I am not just a drop in the ocean. I am the entire ocean in a drop. The problem is we live our lives as the drops. And we're just these dripping drops trying to connect to the ocean.
Correct.
When in truth, the ocean is right there in your conscious mind, back of everything. Every religion teaches God is everything. God is everywhere. God is back of everything. And then so many people seem to think, okay, God is everywhere present, and somehow think that they're not part of that everywhere present.
Right.
So for me, there's something back of all of these core beliefs that's trying to push us into understanding there's so much more for us to be, so much more for us to learn. And these relative facts of my checkbook and this and that and the other thing, all the financial issues that you guys are talking about, those are just, that's what you've done so far with
Right.
your conscious mind.
Right.
But at any second, you can wake up and say, wait a minute, I am the flow of life through this thing called prosperity. I am prosperity, and things change. And can I tell you my little story?
Yes.
Yes.
So I've always had great prosperity consciousness. I've just always, but it was always kind of leveled out. I always was like, I'll always have whatever I need. I've grown past I'll always have whatever I need to I have more than I could ever possibly use, and so I have enough to give. So when I was an actor, and I was just about to say when I was a struggling actor on Broadway, but on Broadway I wasn't struggling, made a lot of money. But as actors, I'd get this big starring role on Broadway, and in 1980 to be paid $3,000 a week, my family was like, "Oh my God, you're a millionaire,"
Right.
which I wasn't. And then 2 years later, I'm not on Broadway, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm on unemployment. And this was go up and down and up and down.
Right.
But I always had enough because that's what I believed. So fast forward, I get into this teaching and start understanding the philosophy of life. And I wanted to buy a house. And I wanted to buy a house. So I flew back to New York because I was in a landlord dispute on my apartment in New York City where they were trying to evict me. Because I didn't live there, they didn't think, because I was traveling back and forth so much. And just as I go up to the judge for the hearing, I get jury duty. So I get this jury duty, and I go to court, and the judge is saying, we need a time. We just need to set a date. And I said, I can't do that date. I'm on jury duty. He turns to the lawyer and said, he's on jury duty. That means he's a resident. You may want to work this out.
Wow.
So the guy comes to me and says, okay, what do you want? I said, well, here's the deal. I want to buy my apartment, and then I want to sell it, and then I want to buy a house in L.A. Now, I had no money. I'm a struggling actor with no money. But he said, all right, well, how much do you want to pay for the apartment? I said, as little as possible. So they sold me a 9-room apartment in New York City for $75,000. I know. Are you dying here?
Oh my gosh.
And then I sold it for $475,000 within a minute at a table. And then I got on a plane, flew to L.A., and paid cash for the house I now live in that is now worth, $2.5 million.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's prosperity consciousness. When you know, the universe just comes in and makes it work, makes it happen. But you have to start with the knowing.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, that is, something that we've witnessed in you, James, is just there's no holds barred. Your mind is set. And that's something we're going to talk about in the next segment, because you have this other process called mental muscle, because you work this, and it's like, it says in the Bible, take captive of your mind, and it's one of those things that we just kind of let our mind wander around in the wind of all different ideas of collective belief systems. And what do we receive? What do we take in? What is ours and what is borrowed from parents upon parents upon parents? It's not working. And so we're going to keep digging into this and really go deep into these core prosperity ideas, beliefs, and bring some relief to us, because I know many of our listeners could use some relief in this area. So you're listening to The Powers of Love with Jason Michael and Heather Powers, with our dear, dear friend, the Reverend Dr. James J. Mellon. So good to have you. And so stay tuned. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Do you have problems with money? Would you like to never worry about money again? I'm Dr. James Mellon, and starting on November 1st, join me for CPR, Core Prosperity Relief. In just 15 minutes a day for 30 days, I will help you, like I've helped thousands before you, get clear on money. For $90, put the life pulse back into your finances. Check me out at jamesmellon.org. That's jamesmellon with 2 L's.org.
Hi, everyone. This is Fred Dreyer with some breaking news. My new movie, Highway 395, has just been released. Highway 395 is my latest movie and is now available for all of my friends and listeners to own. Highway 395 is a classic modern-day Western thriller. Action, romance, and the frontier spirit. It's all there in my new movie, Highway 395. Now, here's the best part. You can own this movie tonight by going to my brand new website, freddryer.co. Head to my website now at freddryer.co and check out the trailer. Then order the movie for a great night of entertainment. And while you're at freddryer.co, check out the memorabilia and my career highlights. But don't forget to order my new action thriller movie, Highway 395. So head over to freddryer.co. That's freddryer.co.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
You know, they say in life we should savor and slow down and enjoy things. That's what our hosts Steve Andrews and Sally James do on Slow Living Radio. They do everything slowly, and they do it for you Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m., Tuesdays at 11 p.m., and Monday nights at 7 p.m. It's Slow Living Radio, the best in food, the best in entertainment, the best in drinks, including great wine. All with Sally James and Steve Andrews. Slow Living Radio on CRN.
Welcome back. We are so happy to be here with our dear friend, Dr. James Mellon. Actually, I should say Reverend Dr. James Mellon. We're talking about prosperity, core prosperity relief, this place where we're changing from working for money into working, or I don't even say working, but we're playing, we're utilizing, we're tapping into our creative, unique, reason why we're here in order to manifest a life that we want so that we can be a benefit on the planet. And that's really what this is about. It's not as selfish. This is about being what you are here to be. And it occurred to me earlier that I just wanted to hear a little bit about what was the catalyst to you finding this teaching, and how did, what was it about this?
Well, as I said, living in New York in the Upper West Side and working in New York, on Broadway, off Broadway, regional theaters, I would often walk by Lincoln Center, and I always saw these two pictures of these two men. Now, looking back, I realize it was Raymond Charles Barker and Eric Butterworth, two of the great metaphysicians, of our lives. And my friends were all going to church at one of these churches, but I was still, at that time, a pretty good Catholic boy, going to my Catholic Mass and then running to my matinee on Broadway. And they got me to come to hear one of their speakers. Unfortunately, being directionally challenged as I am, instead of hitting Alice Tully Hall, I went to Avery Fisher Hall and ended up listening to Eric Butterworth, the great Unity speaker. And he just got me. He just said, the truth shall set you free, and that's how your life will move forward when you actually learn the truth. And I was dumbfounded. This little Catholic boy was sitting there going, oh my God, this sounds like what I really believe. So I listened to him and I kept going back, and my friends were all like, well, how come you never showed up at church? I said, I did. I went to the wrong one. And they said, okay, here's where it is next week. I went, nope, already caught. But here was the irony. 10 years later, I go out to LA to star in a musical that I'd written, and a friend of mine says, you want to come here? You want to come to church? I was like, yeah, I'd love to. It was the church that I didn't go to. It was Church of Raymond Charles Barker. And I heard something, and it was this. The founder of Centers for Spiritual Living, Ernest Holmes, he used to start his radio show every week with, there is a power for good in the universe. There is a power. Look at that. There is a power for good in the universe, and you can use it. He had all of the movie stars out in Los Angeles in the 1950s as part of his center. And I got it. I heard that. Eric Butterworth led the way for me, and then I heard Dr. David Walker speak, and all I could hear was, you have more power in you than you could ever possibly imagine. And that changed my entire life.
Well, it's interesting because we've been talking about, and we talked about a little bit last week about 3 of the areas that we work with our clients and with in our own relationship is the trifecta of sex, money, and power, and how the distortions around them. And we hear this and we want to be powerful. We want to have a lot of money, and many people will go through the most atrocious things just to get power. They'll abuse sex to get power, to get money.
Yep.
And it's because we're reaching outside of ourselves to get something that we're lacking. And we go back to this premise that what you said is, I am prosperity. Why am I prosperity? Why am I that? How can I be that? How can I truly believe that? Again, these are the practices that we need to continue to instill. And you say something. I've taken this program, CPR, which this is going to be starting November 1st, 11/1. It's going to be starting right around the corner, and we'll be giving more information about that and how to access that. But as one who's taken your program before, you talk about do the work, live the results.
Right.
This is a mental practice, a commitment, and a consistency, right?
Right. Well, here's how it works. They say that it takes 21 days to create a habit. But the truth is, it takes at least 21 days to create a habit. It takes 30 days to create a neural pathway, which is an actual crevice in your brain that goes from your idea to the demonstration of the idea. So the whole concept behind CPR, Core Prosperity Relief, which is putting life back into your finances, is the idea that we have too many habitual thoughts about money that push it away from us. And if we actually take the time to use our minds powerfully, on purpose, we can use our minds in such a way that we create the habit of thinking about money in a way that brings this towards us.
Love it. So we'll continue there when we come back. But again, we're talking to Dr. James Mellon, a dear friend of ours, on Core Prosperity Relief, really embodying your true prosperity. We'll be right back.
And you can also, listeners, you can go to thepowersoflove.com, find out more about what we're up to. We're getting ready to go to Shasta with some great couples coming up. We've got many other things that are happening. You can stay in touch with us. And also, you can email us at thepowersoflove1111@gmail.com. Let us know what you're thinking, feeling, if you want more information about whatever we're talking about. But just stay in touch. It's a beautiful community to have you with us. We'll be back right after this.
Experience the romantic getaway you deserve at Maui's premier bed and breakfast, the Plantation Inn. With plantation-style architecture and decor combined with modern amenities such as dual rain showers and whirlpool hot tubs, guests relax in a tranquil oasis in the heart of Maui's historic Lahaina town. The inn is situated conveniently less than 2 blocks from Lahaina Harbor, as well as the famous French Street, known for its range of shops, restaurants, gallery walks, and museums. The Plantation Inn is home to Gerard's Restaurant, voted Open Table's top most romantic restaurants in North America. Chef Gerard's contemporary island French cuisine consistently earns some of the highest ratings in Hawaii. Come discover why Hawaii Magazine readers named the Plantation Inn #1 best bed and breakfast in Hawaii. Visit theplantationinn.com or call us at 667-9225.
Hi, friends. This is Larry Manetti. Go to LarryManetti.com to get my book, Aloha Magnum. You'll read all about the wonderful guest stars like Carol Burnett, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and many, many more. There is an episode guide and my favorite recipes that I really cook at home. I will include a free signed photo with every book. Get Aloha Magnum at LarryManetti.com. Order now. Aloha.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's to see the memorabilia of movie stars and theatrical magic right in downtown Fullerton, California. See the art of the masters. An Italian town square complete with storefronts of old Italian butchers and cheesemongers, fruit and wine vendors, seamstresses showing their wares, fairy lights from cathedral ceilings, and our ancestors smiling down at you from the family love altar. The romance of Romeo and Juliet, and find the mystical Room of the Moon. And don't forget King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein, and who knows what awaits you in the wine cellar. Enjoy the great food. We hand stuff our pastas, roll each and every tortellini, bake our own bread, make our own sauces fresh from our private stock of Sicilian family recipes. From pasta to seafood, chicken to award-winning pizzas, tiramisu flown in from Rome. If you can't find something on our menu to tempt you, you don't like Italian food. Try our Sunday brunch, just $18.95, and Angelo's and Vinci's has been named 2 years in a row Best Italian Restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurant, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
Amid all the fire devastation hitting Northern California, some might be searching for ways to help. While the scope of the destruction will become clear in the coming days and weeks, there are already needs in those communities. Here are some options for those who want to lend a helping hand. Visit redcross.org/donate/donation or call 800-RED-CROSS or text Red Cross to 90999. That's 90999 to make a $10 donation. Thank you very much.
All right, welcome back to the Powers of Love. Jason, Michael, Heather Powers. Here we are with our friend and just a dear heart of ours, Dr. James Mellon, and we're talking about core prosperity relief because we know that many of us on this planet are struggling with this thing called money and how to be prosperous and free and liberated. And what does that mean to be prosperous and free and liberated? And James had said in the beginning that prosperity isn't just about money. It's just about freedom. It's about liberation, to be who you are and not be limited in any way. But we know, and we've acknowledged that it doesn't happen by something outside of you happening to you. It happens from something within you that shifts, and then your whole outer world matches what's going on internally. But I want to talk about something because years ago, I remember hearing, just follow your bliss and you'll live a life and be always taken care of. And I've gone through valleys and vistas of that. And I know that we talked about this on another show. We cannot go to 9 to 5. We're not here to live, for paychecks. We're here to live into our passion and our purpose and our why. And we continue to focus and we continue to trust and we continue to experience miracles and amazing manifestations of that. Mm-hmm. But, the work that it goes into, because there's many people that we talk to, and I know many of our listeners who are going to be listening to the show, struggle with this part where they have a clear mission. They're out there doing amazing things on the planet. They're very clear that they want to awaken the planet to a new earth, a new paradigm, because we know we're in a great shift, sometimes called different things, but called the quickening. There's something emerging that is so different than the old paradigm. Mm-hmm. And in this new paradigm, how do we wrestle with this thing called money? And I know for me, I went into meditation a couple of weeks ago, and I went deep, deep, deep down in there into my subconscious realm, and I was shown a clear gate. I don't know how big it was. It doesn't matter. But it was a big, giant words, money is evil. And,
Exclamation point.
Right.
Exclamation
Probably
point.
3 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, no matter how much work I've done, I've always come across that gate where it just doesn't get to the core. And it's such a diligent jackhammer. Like, how do we get this gate out of here? And that's really what I'd love to talk about. Like, how do we,
Well, you said it. Core prosperity relief is all about finding out where your core beliefs are. So you just brought one up. Money is evil. You know how many people think that? A lot of people think money is evil. So Heather, I'm just going to ask you, give me one of the beliefs you know don't work for you when it comes to money.
That my gifts are not worthy to be received in the real world. And I think that comes from my childhood, as I've shared with you. You know, I came out of just a very traditional background of Christianity where it wasn't safe to go outside. So my music perhaps would not be received outside of
It's so funny
the
you
church.
bring up your music, because is that you singing in the beginning
Yeah.
of this?
Yeah.
You just have such a beautiful, gorgeous voice, and your songs are so amazing. The thought that you were raised somehow to believe that your gift is for some reason not worthy of making money at. You know, the word money. People hear the word money and they think somehow it's not spiritual.
Correct.
It's not, a minister talking about money is like, oh, you should never do that. I love money. Money is God in action. Money is energy. Without money, we can't feed the hungry. Without money, we can't do the changes that need to be done in the world. So money is a good thing. And my job, one of my big jobs as a minister, is to help people realize how worthy they are to have everything that they could possibly ever need when they understand the law of giving and receiving. So most people are trying to get.
Right.
And they get it, and then they lose it because they're still just trying to get. There's a law. When you watch a river, the water come in and the water go out. We watch the ocean. It comes in and it goes out. It doesn't just come in, grab it, and go out and hold it. It doesn't. It flows. Life is a flow. So is prosperity. You have to be willing to give as well as receive. And to you, Heather, you have to be willing to take what is yours. And there's a lot out there for you to take, in terms of all of your talent, all of your amazing ability to educate the world through music. And Jason, you look at you, you've got this voice that, you speak, and it's like, I think you should be on every talk show just talking, and you should be doing every commercial. And yeah. So we all just have to, it's more about, are you ready to really know who you are in such a way that you own it?
Right.
It's about ownership. I mean, this program it's 30 days, 15 minutes a day, and I literally every single day talk about who you are, what you are worth, and why the universe is yours.
Well, I think you touched on it. We talked a little bit about it today at the Global Truth Center in this morning's services celebrations. And you can go, listener, every Sunday you can listen to Dr. James give a powerful, inspirational talk on just who you are, what this life is. If you go to globaltruthcenter.org and go live every Sunday, there's amazing things you can tune into that. And you can also go to jamesmellon.org and find out more about CPR. But this idea of worth, my value, Heather brought it up, my value, what am I worth? And I said this today, is that, Dr. Wayne Dyer would say, if you knew who walked with you, fear would be impossible. That's something that stayed with me for a long time and still continues, that helps me walk through life personally on my own personal path fearlessly. But the other, to take it even further, is if you knew who you were and your worth and your value, lack, limitation just wouldn't even be a blink of an eye.
Same thing. It would be impossible.
It would be impossible to have.
When people identify God, could you imagine God as lack? Could you imagine God afraid of living? Could you imagine God worried about a job, or worrying about where he's going to get the money, or she is going to get the money to pay his or her bills?
Right.
When we think about God, we don't think of that way.
Right.
But we don't realize that we are that.
Mm-hmm. You know, as you're speaking, I'm just thinking about this natural flow of giving and receiving, and I think that in the traditional church that many of us have come up in, we go to church and we receive. I want to be fed. Feed me, feed me, feed me. And a lot of times people never get engaged and give back. And one of the things that I can see stops the flow of abundance and miracles that naturally want to pour in is when we're in that place of, I want to be filled up. But unless you give it out, it almost like stops the flow cold in its tracks.
It does. And, I'm kind of considered a renegade in most terms in religion.
That's why we love you.
I know. That's why I love you guys. At the last conference for New Thought, the leaders were standing up talking about how much money they need, and their finances are a mess.
Right.
Ministers, some of them are the worst at this.
Right.
They're preaching it, but they're not living it.
Right.
That's why when Ernest Holmes once drove up to the Wilshire Theater with this gorgeous new Lincoln, and the usher came out and said, "You should park in the back. People might feel, a little threatened by you having all this money." And he went, "I'm parking it right here, because if they don't see that I actually live what I teach, what's the point?" So I stood up at this meeting and I said, "Look, you guys are telling us all how much money you don't have.
Right.
We are a philosophy that speaks of constant opulence, and that the world is an unlimited plethora of generosity and prosperity. And you're standing here telling us that you need money for this, you need money for that." I said, "I don't want to pay your bills. I don't want to give you money because you need it. I want you to inspire me. Inspire me to give where there is a need for giving. Not bills. Inspire me because you're out feeding the hungry. Inspire me because you want to build schools in Africa. Then you've got my money." And I went back to my own church and I told my board of directors, I said, "I don't ever want to hear again that we need money. I want to know what we're going to do in the world."
And that's, we talked about this, and I've, in my own journey, I've seen where, and we talk about this, I can't give money until I get money. And so I can't say I'm sorry until you say I'm sorry. I'm not going to give you love, and feels like it's safe to give you love, until I feel you give me love. And so we sit in this cycle a lot of times as humans, as we go into this, I can only give what you give me, or if I get something. And so we have this cycle right here. This is, you can't see my hands, listener, if you're listening to just my voice, but it's a counterclockwise. Now let's reverse this motion. Now let's go into this, and it's just a very simple thing. As Jesus said, it's done unto you as you believe. As you give, it is given unto you. As you give, and so we reverse this. I just choose to be a giver in life, and I know that it's going to be returned to me abundantly.
It's just also, it feels like, when Jason and I came together, we've shared that we knew there were two things that we would walk through in victory together. One of them was sexual healing and reclaiming our innocence.
Right.
And restoring that. The other thing was the financial gate. And I don't think either one of us realized the depth to which we would walk in order to really uncover what was underneath. But I think, they are so connected to each other, because as we're reclaiming the truth, the innocence, the divine nature that really resides in every single being, it only makes sense that our demonstration of that would be to actually create the life and allow a container that would sustain us in our life, because that's the demonstration of our faith. If we say that we believe that we are one, that would be the natural outworking. And
that's the word. You just said it. You said faith. And you said faith and then followed it a few words later by the word belief. And my whole philosophy, Mental Muscle, which is the book, I know you guys have read it. Mental Muscle, I was driving by a corner and there was a trainer training a group of people, and he's like yelling at them, "Hit the ground, do your sit-ups." And I thought to myself, wow, if I had someone in my head constantly saying, "Don't think that thought, stop procrastinating, move on, you are good enough, stop even thinking that." I thought, wouldn't that be great if I actually had a trainer in my head that didn't let me create a life of lack by consistently thinking about it? In the Bhagavad Gita, it says, how can you experience peace when you are willing to contemplate its opposite? How can you experience prosperity if you are willing to contemplate its opposite?
That is, you said that a few weeks ago, and that has stayed with me and stayed with me and stayed with me, because I know for myself that I've been saying, I need your money, but no, stay away because you're evil. And so I'm a paradox of sorts. And so I was a paradox.
Yes,
I'm no
yes.
longer because,
No.
and it's that work of seeing all of us. It's that, we'll spiritually bypass this thing. And money is love. Money is good. Money is God. Money is helpful. It's a good thing. And just saying that, I mean, I need to say that often in my home because I could feel in my body
all
my
the time,
cells.
especially if you're looking at a checkbook that's limited.
Yeah.
That's when you say, you know what? I get this. I see this. It's not who I am.
Yeah. Something you say a lot that we just love is that my finances, everything is unfolding perfectly no matter
Yes.
what. No matter what.
Mine is my finances are secure.
Right.
My finances are secure. I say that all the time. I will say that we just did this huge renovation on our house. And there was a moment when the bid came in on what we were renovating. And I looked at it and I turned to Kevin and I said, yeah, I don't see that in our bank account. But you know what? My finances are secure. So just say yes. And we did. And it just kept coming in and going out and coming in and going out. And we're almost done.
Can't wait to see it.
I know. It's very exciting.
I know. I don't know. I want to touch back a little bit on this some more, but it feels like part of the problem is that we really separate our spiritual life from our financial and business life. And can you talk a little bit to that?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
There's only one life.
Right.
It's all spiritual. Money is spiritual, work is spiritual, career is spiritual, parenting is spiritual, and let's go here. Sex is spiritual.
Amen.
Oh, amen.
All of it
Ashe.
is spiritual. Just depends on what level of spirituality do you want to live at.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I was listening to, I think it was John Randolph Price. It was something which I love. He's got a 40-day, there's so many different ways to do it. But he was talking about attune to God, attune to the spirit of money, that it is spirit, it is God in action. And that is such a jump for many of us. And money may change. We have a dear friend of ours, Barbara Wilder, who wrote a book, Money is Love. Like money it's changed different ways. Now it's a digital thing. There is now cryptocurrency coming around that is going to be a new evolution of prosperity. But no matter whatever form it takes, behind that form is the unchangeable. It is God. It is love. It is power. It is intelligence.
Absolutely. First of all, just if you pulled out $1, you'd realize you were holding a piece of paper.
Right.
Nothing else.
Not backed by anything.
No, exactly. Well, backed by consciousness.
Right.
Backed by a system, and it's called a universal system, a system that knows what it is and that decides what it is. So we're unfortunately tapped into the paper. Not what's behind the paper. And that's what this is all about for me. My life changes depending on how I use my mind. And I learned that a long time ago. And that's why I came up with that 16 weeks of spiritual boot camp. When you sit with me for 16 weeks, twice a week, live, you did that. And it's intense. You come up with, you suddenly have core beliefs that you didn't know you ever had.
So we're about to go into break in just a little bit here, and we're going to have a song at the last segment. But I just want to invite all our listeners to go to jamesmellon.org and sign up for Core Prosperity Relief. If this feels resonant for you and you want to have some major breakthroughs around money and experience a life that is your divine inheritance, it is our inheritance to live prosperous and free. And so go deep and take this journey with Dr. James. And I guarantee you, if you do the work, you will have results that will blow your mind. I promise you. And so go to jamesmellon.org, sign up Core Prosperity Relief, beginning 11/1. We love those numbers, 111.
And you can also reach us again at thepowersoflove1111@gmail.com, and we love to hear your comments and just interaction. We want to we have built a community. We're growing our community with the CRN family, and we're grateful to have you with us. Again, thepowersoflove.com, and we are looking forward to just connecting with you. We'll be right back after this.
have problems with money? Would you like to never worry about money again? I'm Dr. James Mellon, and starting on November 1st, join me for CPR, Core Prosperity Relief. In just 15 minutes a day for 30 days, I will help you, like I've helped thousands before you, get clear on money. For $90, put the life pulse back into your finances. Check me out at jamesmellon.org. That's jamesmellon with 2 L's.org.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-8803. 800-485-8803. 800-485-8803. Call right now. That's 800-485-8803.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
All right, welcome back to The Powers of Love with Jason Michael, Heather Powers, and our special guest, Dr. James Mellon, who is getting ready to launch 11-1 Core Prosperity Relief. We've been talking about just the beauty of a prosperous life that goes beyond money. We deserve a life of prosperity in love, in our health, in our passion and purpose of why we're here. We deserve to be alive, or as I believe it was Dr. Troward said, just a life of happiness, just being happy.
He said our only purpose in life is to enjoy life. I think a lot of people don't know that.
We missed you. Say that again?
I said, Thomas Troward said that our only purpose in life is to enjoy life.
Yeah.
And I think most people think their purpose in life is to do something, to work. No, more people enjoying themselves would give us more people doing what's really theirs to do.
That's what we need, more people coming alive.
And I think prosperity also is just having the opportunity to listen to Heather Powers sing at any time, any place.
I agree. There's a conspiracy for my good because I get to listen to this all the time. So thank you, James, for being here with us. We
my
love
pleasure.
you.
So
I will come back
much.
anytime.
Yeah, we look forward to that.
Yes, actually, we would love for that to be the case.
Take us out, babe.
I am a gift of love, and I am more than enough. I am the divine in form, the lioness that roars. I am a light of 1,000 suns, and I am the darkness, the void that hums. I am creation, all wrapped in one. I am, I am, I am, I am. I am the mother's touch, the father, the daughter, the Holy Son. I am the breath in the family of one. I am, I am, I am, I am. Here's my heart undivided, my body your temple, lest I forget. A hedge of protection, a mirror of reflection. A life of devotion is all that I have. Oh, I am, I am, I am, I am. Oh,
I am, we are nothing but love. Once again, you've been listening to The Powers of Love, and as Jimi Hendrix says, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, our world will know peace when we cease to have those opposites. Thank you. Take a breath right where you are. We'll be back next week talking about something powerful and loving. And so be good to each other. Be good to yourself. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be free. You deserve to be prosperous. Once again, go to thepowersoflove.com and get a hold of us. Sign up to our email. Check us out. It's a movement of love. Thank you for being with us. Have a great week. We'll see you next weekend.
Enjoying all your favorite CRN programming is easier than ever. It's right on your TV, through your local cable provider, and on the web at crntalk.com. But when you're on the move, stuck in a plane, train, or in your car, catch up on all the shows you missed. Or listen live to your favorites. Download our CRN app from your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Just search for CRN Digital Talk Radio. Or search for your favorite CRN shows on apps like iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, AHA Radio, uTunes, and Nobex. Now you have access to all of our great shows anywhere in the world and the ability